Hello, and welcome. In a world that often measures success in trophies and accolades, what if we've been looking in the wrong place for the most valuable prize of all? Today, we're taking a deep dive into Alden Beslagic's insightful book, Building Character: The Soccer Years. As an author, soccer coach, and former Division I player, Beslagic brings a unique depth of experience to his writing. He presents a powerful argument. The soccer field is one of the most effective classrooms for life. It's a place without desks or walls, where lessons are taught through effort, failure, and teamwork. His core message isn't about creating professional athletes. It's about developing strong, resilient, and honorable people. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll explore how this beautiful game, as seen through the eyes of a passionate coach, can shape the very foundation of who we are. Beslagic argues that character development doesn't start when the stakes are high. It begins with the very first touch of a ball. In Chapter 1, The Beginning, he illustrates how soccer's first lessons are life's first lessons. Long before a child understands formations, they learn how to exist in a group. They learn how to listen to a coach, how to share the ball with a teammate, how to wait their turn for a drill, and, crucially, how to react when things don't go their way. This early stage is not about creating elite players. It's about creating strong humans. This is where the adults play a pivotal role. A coach who values effort over results teaches that hard work is its own reward. A parent who creates a safe emotional environment, where a mistake isn't a catastrophe but a learning moment, builds a child's confidence. When a child learns early that mistakes are safe and effort is enough, they develop a strong foundation that will support them when competition, pressure, and expectations inevitably grow. The book emphasizes that a weak foundation can lead to burnout and a loss of joy later on, making these early years the most critical in a player's journey. This foundation leads directly into the book's second major theme: teamwork and leadership. Soccer teaches a truth that echoes throughout life. You can't do this alone. Every single action is connected. A pass requires a receiver. A defensive stand requires mutual trust. Beslagic explains that consistent, clear communication, calling for the ball, giving information, encouraging a teammate, is what builds that trust. And trust is the currency of growth, as it allows players to take risks and try new things without fear of blame. Leadership in this context is not a title or a captain's armband. It is a behavior. It's the player who works just as hard in a simple drill as they do in the final minute of a championship game. It's the teammate who lifts another's spirits after a missed shot. Even team conflicts, like disagreements over playing time, become valuable lessons in emotional intelligence, teaching players how to handle frustration, communicate respectfully, and resolve issues without blame. From teamwork, we move to perhaps the most critical lesson of all: resilience and perseverance. Beslagic states that adversity is not a possibility in a soccer journey. It is a guarantee. Mistakes, losses, injuries, and self-doubt will appear. The difference between players, he argues, is not whether they fall, but how they respond. He powerfully reframes failure not as the opposite of development, but as a source of information. A missed pass reveals what needs work. A tough loss exposes tactical gaps. Great players learn to embody a next play mentality. They reset emotionally, refocus mentally, and re-engage physically, leaving the mistake in the past. Here again, coaches are critical. A coach who punishes mistakes with anger creates fear. But a coach who calmly corrects and encourages recovery builds confident, resilient players. The same goes for parents. The car ride home is a sacred space. When parents focus on effort, attitude, and learning, their children develop emotional strength. When they focus on errors and outcomes, children learn to fear failure. With resilience comes integrity. In Chapter 4, Beslagic explores how soccer reveals who players are when emotions run high. Sportsmanship isn't just about being polite. It's a code of conduct under pressure. It means respecting a skilled opponent, accepting a referee's decision even when you disagree, and controlling your emotions when you're frustrated. Integrity is forged in the small moments that often go unnoticed. Admitting a touch went off you when the referee misses it, helping an opponent to their feet after a hard tackle, owning a mistake instead of blaming a teammate. These choices, made in an instant, define character. True sportsmanship doesn't remove competitiveness, it guides it, teaching young people that how you compete matters just as much as whether you win. As players grow, the demands of the sport increase, leading to the crucial lesson of balancing soccer and life. Many young players reach a point where the game feels overwhelming. Beslegic identifies that this burnout rarely comes from a lack of love for the game, but from imbalance. Schedules become packed, rest disappears, and pressure from coaches, parents, social media, and even internal expectations replaces enjoyment. Soccer forces players to learn the vital life skill of time management, balancing training, schoolwork, family, and recovery. The book stresses the importance of fostering an identity beyond the game. A player who is also a student, a friend, and a family member is more resilient. When soccer is going well, they stay grounded. When they struggle, they remain stable, because their entire self-worth isn't tied to their last performance. This leads us to the beautiful cycle of mentorship and paying it forward. Beslegic reminds us that no player gets there alone. Behind them are coaches, teammates, and parents who believed in them. The first step in this cycle is learning to accept guidance. Being coachable is not a weakness, but a sign of maturity. As players grow, their roles shift. The mentored becomes the mentor. Older players set the standard, whether they intend to or not. Younger teammates watch their effort levels in practice, their attitude after a loss, and their reactions to mistakes. When older players actively encourage and guide younger ones, they strengthen the entire team culture. This act of giving back teaches one of the most powerful character lessons. As you grow, you are expected to help others grow too. Finally, Beslegic brings all these lessons together in his conclusion, carrying the lessons beyond the game. At some point, for every single player, the soccer journey ends. But the most important truth is this: soccer ends. Character does not. Long after the final whistle, the lessons learned continue to shape who they become. The scoreboard fades, trophies collect dust, but the character remains. Success is redefined. It's not measured in goals or scholarships, but in the confidence, discipline, resilience, and integrity a player carries with them into classrooms, careers, and families. Alden Beslegic leaves us with a profound final thought. Soccer is the tool. Character is the outcome. When development is done right, everyone wins.